from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Tuesday, December 3rd. So we have the moon in Capricorn energy here all day, which is definitely going to help us be a little bit more present, anchored into the physical form, very aware of our physical environment and what needs to be done. We are in to-do list mode. We have a lot of things to cross off of our list before entering into the new year, entering into the phase of building towards our new wants, needs, and desires. Side note, if you have the new moon manifesting guide available, and you really should be downloading that and keeping in alignment, this is the point in time where we're going to start seeing that little sliver of the moon reappear in the sky. So this is when we really need to start thinking about our long-term goals, the intentions that we absolutely need to act upon in the present moment in order to align with the goal, vision, and dream that, of course, we're trying to manifest. So there are 7 different aspects taking place here today. All 7 of them are involving the moon, which means that this is a moon day, a day to get emotionally organized and really kind of define what is calling for our attention. We kick the day off with the moon in Capricorn, making a pretty harsh interaction with Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, even our anger, who happens to be in Leo energy, the heart and soul of the zodiac. Now, again, this is a harsh interaction. It's going to highlight for us where it is that things aren't moving fast enough. Mars is all about action. He's given a very small window of time, of opportunity here this week to take action, to make big, bold, courageous moves. But at this particular juncture, we're not acting upon anything because there are no big, bold moves to be made. That's a little bit frustrating. We were wishing that things would be a little bit more progressed by now. We were wishing that, again, we had more excitement, more happiness, more joy to be acting upon. But because, again, we're still in the dark phase of the moon, slowly but surely getting a little bit of glimmer, a little bit of light back in the sky, we aren't clear on what those actions need to be. So yes, there's going to be some ants in our pants. There's going to be a little bit of frustration. There's going to be a little bit of restlessness. However, although that doesn't feel good, you can learn a lot about these not so nice thoughts and feelings, which is what you're actually passionate about, what you're actually desiring in life, where you actually want to pour your time, your energy, your attention when given the right time to actually act upon those particular ideas. The moon is then going to make an awkward interaction with Uranus, the Great Awakener, who is retrograde in Taurus energy. The whole point of Uranus being retrograde is to highlight for us where it is that we're still holding on to the old, especially in our physical realm. Maybe we're holding on to routines. Maybe we're holding on to people, places, things. It is time to break away. And because we've outgrown these things, there's nothing left for us to learn from these things. Why are we still holding on? Now, Earth on Earth energies definitely has us in the present moment very focused on our physical realms. And because the moon in Capricorn is semi-traditional, wanting to hold on to what is tried, tested, and true, there's going to be a little bit of confusion here, a little bit of an emotional upset, maybe even some anxiety, because we know that we have to start kind of whittling things away and wrapping up old cycles, but we're just not feeling prepared, well equipped to do that as of yet. The moon in Capricorn then going to make a positive interaction with the sun, shining very brightly in this Sag energy. The sun is shining a light on where we need to explore, where we need to experiment, where it is that we have to dream a bigger dream for ourselves and actually test out whether or not we're capable enough of doing what needs to be done to achieve it, to obtain it, to actually align with it. Now, anytime that the sun and the moon are coming together, there's going to be an aha moment on the emotional awareness, on new ideas, on what we want, need, and desire, what we need to do and what we need to pursue. Yes, the sun in Sag energy has us very hopeful, very wishful, very dreamy-like. The moon in Capricorn gives us that anchor, gives us that groundedness, that stability to stay organized in our thoughts, in our emotions, in our expectations, which of course we're trying to avoid having because of course anytime that we do have expectations, we are immediately setting ourselves up for a potential disappointment. Nonetheless, we are going to receive some good good insight, some clarity on the details needed in order to come up with a framework, with a system, with a structure to actually start building towards our goals. We have the moon in Capricorn, then sextiling, beautiful interaction with Saturn, who rules over the Capricorn energy. Saturn, of course, is the Lord of Karma, ruling over systems, structures, foundations, willpower, and discipline. He's in Pisces energy, trying to dissolve the old structures of the old world that old version of self had built. We are also trying to flip the script on our belief system, what we believe we're actually worthy and deserving of. This particular interaction, although there is a heaviness, a weight to it, it's not necessarily bad. It's responsibility. It's accountability. It's understanding that we have to slow our roll down and really approach our craziness, our chaos, with a step-by-step approach on what needs to be removed, what we need to wrap up, what we need to close the door upon first and foremost before we can start thinking about building towards something new. This is going to help us just get organized in our thoughts, in our emotions, in our plans, and give us a more realistic approach to exactly how to do things, exactly what needs to be done. The moon is then going to make a positive interaction with Neptune, who of course is retrograde in his rulership in this Pisces energy. This is going to kind of slow us down, give us an opportunity to kind of refresh our soul and our spirit, to give us a download, again, aligning with our intuition, really tapping into some creativity, especially where solutions are concerned. This is basically a reminder of what the goal, the vision, the dream is, where it is that our higher self, our soul self, is being called to pursue something bigger, something deeper, with a different meaning, a different purpose than what we've been doing previously. So this is going to be a little bit of a light, fluffy vibe, but in a way that acts as a little bit of a reminder to keep us hopeful, to keep us wishful. And then that moon in Capricorn, of course, is going to anchor us into the present moment. View these goals, visions, and dreams with a, let's call it, organized lens to figure out how we're going to go about bringing these babies to life. We have the moon making a very harsh interaction with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings, who is retrograde in Gemini energy. So because Jupiter is looking back, he's looking back at what we've previously learned, the tough love life lessons in which we've learned them, information, wisdom, and knowledge that we accumulated that we're failing to put into the present moment. We're looking back at old ideas. We're looking back at old projects. We're looking back at old learning chapters. We're trying to pluck the silver linings out and then breathe new life into the old. So although this doesn't feel good, mostly because many of us are wanting to think about the future, where we do have the opportunities for growth, for evolvement, to move on, to make some progress, this particular energy is definitely pulling us back. We have to look back in order to figure out how to move on and move forward. The last thing that we got going on here today is the moon in this Capricorn energy, making a very positive interaction with Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, communication, and how it is that we express ourselves, who of course is retrograde. Again, looking back, revisiting, revising, reanalyzing, restructuring, reframing old ideas, old truths, old paths, old directions, old connections. So again, we have the moon, which is our heart space, and Mercury, our head space. They're working together. They're working together to look back, to analyze what needs to stay, what needs to go, what we can build upon or build off of, and what has kind of run its course. So where communication is concerned, because again, Mercury rules over our ability to express ourselves as well, we do have an opportunity to be a straight shooter, to be a little bit more forthcoming with our thoughts, with our ideas, with some of the plans that we have, and realizing where it is that some endings, some closures definitely need to be had before we can start looking towards the future.